again. In this video, I'm going to go ahead and be opening up my Neopets Monopoly. Today is the 30th day of relaxing, year 27, or June 30th, 2025, and I pre-ordered this back in, I believe it was mid-March, so before some of the stuff that is happening with moderation, and so I am actually currently on hiatus from Neopets. I think I'm on, what is it, like day 5 without having logged in right now, so, I don't really know how I feel about receiving the Monopoly. Like, on one hand, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love Neopets, this is so nostalgic, but on the other hand, it's like, I am currently on hiatus, I do not need to be pressured to log in. Like, this is making me want to log in, and it's like, I'm on hiatus. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. One thing that is really frustrating, though, is they have not been sending these out to everyone at the same time. Like, there were people who had already received the Monopoly by the time that I got my shipping notification, and I believe as of today there are still some people who have yet to receive their shipping notification. So, like, I am a little bit frustrated about how the Neopets team is handling who they're sending this stuff out to, because it seems like some people are getting it earlier than others, and that's creating like some of like a feeling of like FOMO, fear of missing out, or like resentment of like, other people are getting this and I haven't, and I think it's creating some animosity between the fans. So yeah, but I'm really excited about this. I would say I typically don't do unboxings because of my corn allergy, and because sometimes companies that are like very eco-conscious use corn-based alternatives to plastics, and I really had a horrific experience with cotton ball packaging one time, and so I did not do the initial like opening up of the packaging material that this shipped in. My mother did that at my request. It came in, I believe it was layers of cardboard and bubble wrap. So my experience with my particular version is that it came in good condition, but I think there was someone on, what was it, the Neopets Discord, I don't think it's actually official, but it's like a fan run Discord, where someone got theirs but it came dented. I am very fortunate that that did not happen to me. Mine is in great condition, and I wanted to start by talking about, like, I like how the box feels. It's a nice it's kind of like a nice weight where it doesn't feel like I'm gonna drop it. I like it how it has kind of like these little ridges around this back area, so it's like I have something to grip onto. I don't feel like it's gonna like fall out of my hands and crash to the floor, because sometimes with metal, like metal cases for things, if they're very, very smooth and there isn't a lot to grip on the edges, or glass, like sometimes I'm clumsy, and sometimes like I'll drop things, and so I like how it has like just this little bit of ridginess to the side so I can hold it easily, and it feels sturdy. To me, it feels sturdy. And the front says fast dealing property trading game, Monopoly 25 Neopets. So that's kind of, they've been going with the 25 theme for a while now. Like, what year were they created? They were created in 1999. So yeah, I think the site is technically, yeah, I think it's still technically 25 years old, but it'll be turning 26, I think, in November. So they've been milking the 25, like the 25th anniversary for like, I remember, whenever they did the calendars, as well as when they were at Planet Comic-Con, I think it was like over a year ago now, they were also milking the 25. So they've been milking the 25 for, I think it's over a year now, with their artwork. So yeah, 25 Neopets, and we've got a blue Aisha, a red Kugra, a green Choiru, a pink Uni, a blue Akura, a Nova, and a yellow Kachik, and there's also some like artwork of like nags, like a fish nag, a happy nag, a cool nag, and then like a rainbow paintbrush, some Neo points. It's got a lot of like Neopets, like pets that you can own and stuff. It's like related to the site itself, so I really like it. It feels very on brand. I do like the rainbowness, though I would say one thing I'm really frustrated with about Neopets right now is even though the Void Within is on hiatus, they've stuck with a lot of gray themed stuff. Like the artwork for Neopets Central, I think, is still like gray, and that was something where it tied into the plot, but it doesn't really go with how I feel like Neopets should be. Like, to me, Neopets is supposed to be like rainbows and bright gold and bright colors, and I don't like how so much of the site currently is like all gray. So I really love like the choice to go with like rainbows and gold and saturation, because that's how I imagine Neopets. And on the back, it says fast dealing property trading game Monopoly brand. Oh my gosh, I loved Monopoly when I was a kid. Maybe that's also part of why I enjoyed Neopets for so long, is that it is very much so like an economy centered game. And so I like just the fun of buying up everything and slowly milking every one of your friends and family members dry of all their money and their assets until you're the only like the person who owns everything, like the sole landlord. And that's so much fun. Like, I love capitalism. I love capitalism. But actually, I don't know, I don't know if this is really like the best representation of capitalism, but I love like what's the other game that I used to like when I was a kid? I used to really like Zoo Tycoon. Like, I like games that have an economy aspect to them and have like trading amongst the players. Like, I just love that. That's a lot of fun to me. And so I like Monopoly. Oh, the other game, the board game that I absolutely freaking loved as a child, but no one wanted to play with me, was Hawaii, the board game. And in that game, you just pretend to be a tourist, and you have to pay for like your hotel every day and your car payment every day, and then you spend a bunch of money just on like tourist traps and tourist attractions, and it's just like kind of like a it feels like a role-playing game where it's like you're just pretending to go on vacation to Hawaii and spend a bunch of money, and it's like, I just love that game. It was so fun, and it took forever, but I loved it. It was so immersive, but no one ever wanted to play Hawaii the board game with me, even though it was like my literal favorite game when I was like a small child. But yes, I'd say Monopoly was probably like like second favorite board game after Hawaii the board game. And I think we used to have the Simpsons version. We might still have the Simpsons version. But yes, I like Monopoly, even though like no one else I know actually really likes Monopoly. I just really like it and try and get other people to play with me. And I love too how it has like a luck and chance element of it, so it's different each time. Like, you don't just have to have good strategy, you actually have to just have good luck. So it feels like, I don't know, like luck and chance, like gambling. I don't know, like it has that fun aspect to it. So yeah, I like Monopoly. Pick your Neopets token. Oh, there's an Akura, an Aisha, or how do they say that, Aisha? Kachik, Kugra, Shoiru, and Uni. I should read the text. Celebrate and travel through the magical land of Neopia with a special Neopets edition of Monopoly. Line your pockets with Neopoints as you acquire property throughout the many iconic Neopian lands. I swear, they should have it, like, they need to keep up with inflation and have this stuff cost, like, 500 million Neopoints. Build Neohomes Neolodges, invest in Neopian resources, and traverse the many locations of Neopia on 4 unique Neopian transports. Encounter exciting events through the Money Tree and Wheel of Excitement cards. From the streets of Neopia Central to the glittering towers of Fairyland and everything in between, you'll have a blast while exploring Neopia and growing your hoard of Neopoints. Oh, I like the idea of growing a hoard of Neopoints. That's fun. There are investments to be made, so don't wait. Roll the dice and enjoy this Neopets edition of Monopoly. Okay, and on the right side it says contents, game board, 6 custom tokens, 28 title deed cards, 16 Wheel of Excitement cards, 16 Money Tree cards, 1 pack of Monopoly money, 32 Neohomes, 12 Neolodges. Okay, so they're using, I think, Neohomes for houses and Neolodges for where, I guess, hotels. I mean, I guess I can see that. But Neolodges traditionally, like, they're very cheap on the site. Like, you pay, I don't know, like a couple hundred Neopoints a night if you want to be good to your pets and not send them to cockroach towers, just to house your pet. So it's like, it doesn't really cost that much Neopoints in the grand scheme of things to put your pets in the Neolodge. 2 dice, instructions, and 1 redemption code scratch card. And then it has like all of these different logos belonging to companies, and apparently it is made in China. Let's see, manufactured and imported by, yeah, it shows like company details and yada yada yada. The Monopoly name and logo, the distinctive design of the game board, the 4 corner squares, the Mr. Monopoly name and character, as well as each of the distinctive elements of the board and playing pieces are trademarks of Hasbro Inc. for its property, trading game, and game equipment. Copyright 1935-2024 Hasbro. So, yeah, that's just like a bunch of like company information on the side there, and then there's an image in the center of the board, and on this top corner here it has the 25 Neopets logo, which it's like, I don't like how they slap a 25 on everything. I just want like the Neopets logo with like the black text and the, what is it, like Huffleclump or something font. I can't remember the name of it. It starts with an H. There's some specific font that they use for Neopoints, or like Huffleclump. It starts with an H, and it sounds like a Winnie the Pooh character. Yeah, there's a specific font that they use for their logo. But it's like, I just want the stars and the text, but in black against a gold backdrop, like the old site theme. Like, that's what I want. I don't want this 25 on everything. It's gonna make it seem dated. And then there's just like the Neopets board with kind of like the world of Neopia in the center. Okay, let's open this. It opens kind of like, we have a toolbox that opens like this, where it has like the little latches, or it kind of gives the vibe of like maybe a jewelry box or an old metal type of lunchbox. And then I'm opening this up. Oh, let's see here. So first of all, we have instructions. Oh wow, okay, I'll look at those in a little bit, I think. So we have instructions, we have monies. Ooh, we've got the ski. Okay, I remember, like, I think in the old, we have a different Neopets board game in the basement. It's like Adventures in Neopia or something, and it has these like little cardboard coins. So it's interesting that they went with like cash instead of cardboard coins, because on Neopets, like, they don't use cash. Like, we had canon that everything is like paid for via Neopoint coins. And let's just assume that it's magic or something, because there is no way my pets could hold like every single Neopoint that I own or like however many Neopoints people have out to spin the wheel of extravagance or to buy stuff. Like, there's no way a pet could hold all those. But I mean, it is a virtual site, so maybe we can just pretend it's electronic or something. Okay, there's this little white thing at the back that's like thicker to keep them straight. There's 500, which is orange, and it's got like Monopoly, 500 Neopoint, National Neopian Bank. That's the skeeth, that's the bank skeeth. Neopoint 500. So I don't know, I think all of these basically have the same design except for the fact that they're different colors. So 500 is like a dark orange. 100 is like a more of a salmon color, or like a peach, maybe a peach. I'm trying to be very gentle in how I'm opening these. Also, okay, it is almost like 4th of July here, and it is, I think, legal at the present moment in time in my neck of the woods for people to set off fireworks. So there is a possibility, I'm gonna warn y'all, that there might be like loud noises and like things that sound like cannonballs going off at some point, and that, if it happens, it's gonna be fireworks because we are close to the 4th of July. 50 is like a light lavendery, grayish, purpley color. 20s are, okay, this is going to be different for me to remember because I think in The Simpsons Monopoly, blue is 50. But like for 20s, we have green, which is a pretty color. Oh my gosh, this is, the 10s are like the same color as my Neopets dress. So I think I bought the dress off of Cakeworthy at one point. I don't think they still sell it anymore. I think it might have been like a temporary thing. And then the blue is, sorry, the blue is the 10 is the blue. Oh my gosh, I love it. I don't know, I'm like thinking like, oh, what I pose with is like I don't know. I don't think I'd use this as like a different profile pic for anything. Let me see. Okay, especially because I'm not currently playing the Neopet site, and I am trying, like, I don't think I'm very effective at boycotting anything, but like I'm trying to like not buy more Neopets merch right now. But this is, I pre-ordered this in March, so that's different, I guess. But this is a pink for $5, and one is white. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I'm really annoyed at the way that Neopets is handling the moderation situation, because in my opinion, from what I have seen, it feels like their moderation is bigoted, because like the thing that like really made me go like, oh my gosh, I don't see this getting better, is one, after they announced like they're changing their site rules to be like more inclusive, they, I think, penalized a bunch of people for talking about like, what's it called, hormone replacement therapy. And so it's like, it feels like their new moderation is like, even with the new rules, like it just feels like the moderation is still disproportionately impacting like the LGBTQIA plus community, and specifically trans members of the LGBTQIA plus community. And also, what was it? There was this, one of the ambassadors basically, when there was a lot of concern about like harassment on the Neo boards, suggested a separate LGBTQIA plus board, when basically people were complaining about how, hey, there are trans members of the community who are essentially dealing with harassment on the general Neopets discussion board. And so the suggestion to go like have our own new board, it felt like a call for segregation. Though that was actually like, I think it was a trans user on the Neo board suggested that, like, use that word first, and then like after that I was like, okay, yeah, you're right, I see this. And so I agree, like it really, to me, it felt like a call for like segregation. And as someone who is a victim of like seclusion and restraint, and knows as someone who is autistic what it's like to be treated as a second-class citizen, even in a country where like in real life, like we're supposed to have like the IDEA, and we're supposed to have legal protections for people with disabilities, but in practice, like I was not treated equally as a kid. And so I'm very much so like, Neopets was my safe space growing up. Like that was like my escape from all the troubles of the world. And the fact that there are like trans people on the site who are dealing with harassment, and who feel like they're being told like, hey, you go to this other, like we should have a different board for you, like, to me, I'm like, that was like, just, it was devastating. Like that just, it made me feel like Neopets was no longer like a safe little escape for all the people who are like just dealing with challenges in the real world. And like I myself, I am cisgender, I'm not trans, but I am bisexual. And one of my dearest friends in the whole wide world, who I know from Civ 3, is a trans woman. And so like, how do I put this? I have not always been a good ally by any means, but I'm trying to be more cognizant, because it's like, would I feel comfortable telling my Civ friend, hey, you should play Neopets? No, I would not. I would not be comfortable telling her, oh, you should play Neopets. Like, yeah. So I really was not very comfortable with some of the moderation issues that were going on with Neopets, especially because I think that particular ambassador who suggested the separate LGBTQIA plus board got brought back on. And then I heard on the side events board that Herdy, who is a different ambassador, who is I have a very positive opinion of Herdy. I heard that Herdy got warned. And I'm like, what the frick is going on with moderation, that basically Herdy, who is someone who I cannot imagine him ever intentionally breaking the rules. Like, Herdy is just a very upstanding member of the Neopets community. He used to be a Neopian Times writer, and every single interaction with him that I've had, like on either the neopets.com website, or I think Jelly Neo, or the Neopets Discord, it's like, Herdy's nice. he's a decent person. He would never intentionally break site rules. So to me, it's like, what the frick is going on with moderation that the one ambassador who like literally has been the, like, Hardy's been the one who's like actually been like listening to the complaints of the LGBTQI plus community on Neopets and just really has been very cognizant and compassionate and very empathetic, and like he's just been a really amazing ambassador who like just listens to people's concerns. And the fact that he got warned by the moderation, to me, like that just something strikes me the wrong way. I can't understand what's going on unless it's a situation of like intentional bigotry or something. Like I don't understand how for so long like there's been an issue of harassment against trans users on the boards, and trans like users being like disproportionately targeted by my moderation, and then the one ambassador who's like been pro LGBTQI plus inclusion and acceptance on the site like above and beyond without a warning for who knows what. And to me it's just like, I really think there's an issue with transphobia on the Neopets moderation, like on the Neopets team with moderation. Like I just really think that there is an issue with the moderation specifically of like bigotry. It just, to me, it's to the point where I can't think it's an accident anymore. I really think it might be intentional. And so yeah, that's kind of like what pushed me, what's been pushing me to be much more like what's the word, critical of Neopets as of late. And then I think the thing that finally pushed me to take a hiatus was the it was like the quest log or something. They started like using the quest log as a way to like advertise some of their mobile games and being like, oh, if you go play these mobile games and your account's hooked up with Neopass, then we'll give you bonus prizes. And it's just like, to me, that reminds me of like how Pep Park was when it was dying, and it feels like they're no longer putting like their effort into making Neopets.com better first and foremost, and are instead like using Neopets.com to go recruit people for their mobile games. And also just from an economy standpoint, the site's becoming a lot less like fun or fair for people who are more free to play. Because a lot of the events that they used to do, like the Altador Cup and Neopets and the Advent Calendar, they've been giving like bonus stuff to people who are premium, to the point where it's like, okay, I've always kind of been okay with the idea that, oh, if you're paying for premium, it's okay if you get a little extra because you're helping to keep the site alive. But I have a Neopets t-shirt upstairs somewhere that's like, Neopets is free to play, and the idea that like they're just constantly making it more advantageous for premium players over free-to-play players, to me it's just like, I don't know, it kind of there's a point at which it becomes less fair, and it feels like it's like, if you're not paying, like, is it even worth it to continue playing the site? Especially when they added the premium thing for Advent Calendar, and at that point you couldn't turn off the thing of like the premium pop-up every day. I think they added that in like the Neopets or something after there was a bunch of vehement complaining about it. But yeah, like they ruined the Advent Calendar for me. The Advent Calendar used to be something that I loved and looked forward to every day, but they ruined it by making it like an advertisement for premium. And the Altador Cup, okay, I've never actually really liked the Altador Cup. I'm gonna be honest there. I didn't like it. It's just a bunch of playing the same flash games over and over again every day for like long periods of time, and it's just like, this is so boring. This is the most boring event on the entire site. But there are some people who love it with a writhing passion. That is what they play Neopets for. And to me, I don't like how they made it into just like another version of the Neopets where you just click every single day and get a prize. And also they advertise premium with it. Like they're using it to advertise premium. And it's just like, I don't understand what they were thinking with the Altador Cup, because one, they're not gonna be pleasing anyone with this particular event, because like, in the nicest possible way, the people who live for the Altador Cup are gonna be freaking mad about this change, and you just ruined their support for you. You just made it so that they're no longer interested in playing. But also, like, I'm someone who doesn't even like the Altador Cup, and I just don't like how the event was this year. It's boring. Bring me back the Games Master Challenge. Like, I used to love, like, Games Master Challenge and Daily Dare because it was a different game every single day. There was something new and exciting to do, new and exciting to work towards. There was variety. And so, like, I don't know, I don't see who TNT was pleasing with the reduced Altador Cup. Like, I don't even like the traditional Altador Cup, and I didn't like it. And also, like, it's gonna piss off all your super fans. So, yeah, I didn't like the way the Altador Cup was done. So, yeah, sorry for going on a rant here. I'm, like, very Neopets obsessed. Next of all, I'm gonna show you, here is the board. Oh my gosh, this is so big. Okay, I mean, actually, once it's on a table, it won't be so big. It's kind of just like a normal square Monopoly board. Let me try and, like, I can't see it right now. Okay, so from going around the normal way, we have collect 200 Monopoly money salary as you pass, Neopia Central for 60 money, Money Tree, Descardia. Oh, that's some off-site thing that they keep trying to get people to play. I don't care about Descardia, and I refuse to play any more of their mobile games after Pep Park. Like, after what happened to not only Key Quest and Habitarium and Treasure Keepers, which I used to like. I used to like Treasure Keepers back in the day, and Pep Park, which I spent a bunch of money on Neocash on for clothes for my little Shimmering Hearts Cascat. But after all of their failed ventures of, like, different games, I refuse to start any, like, new, like, virtual games with them other than the classic website, because I'm like, I don't want to get invested in something that's going to be discontinued. I have no desire to, like, get my heart broken again, so I refuse to start, like, new games by Neopets. I like this because it's physical. Like, if the site goes down forever and ever, well, they can't take away a physical board that's in my house. So I can continue gaining enjoyment out of this, after whatever, like, if the internet were to disappear today, I'd still have this. So, yeah, but I don't like Descardia or any tie-ins with that, because to me, it's just advertising for a game that I don't play. Descardia, King Scarl, pay 200 Monopoly monies. Oh, so that's supposed to be like the income tax tile. And does King Scarl have any random events? I know there are some events that, like, they'll show up and, like, they'll take Neo points from you. What is it? There was some one of, like, from the Tales of Myrtle, or one of the early Myrtle plots, where there was, like, a group of bullies that would take Neo points from you. And there's also this annoying event where Team Kiko Lake will take an item from you sometimes, but there's some bug where it'll take a bobblehead that you don't even have in your inventory instead, which seems to happen to me every time I get that random event, so I don't even hate Team Kiko Lake as much as some people do. Giant Laline, 200 Monopoly money. So they seem to be using pets as the, what's it called, the railroads. Kiko Lake, 100 Monopoly monies. Wheel of Excitement. Sorry, this is a little bit hard to balance on screen since I'm recording in vertical. Wheel of Excitement. Morocqua, 100 Monopoly money. Daragon Citadel, 120 Monopoly money. In Jail, so they chose to continue doing In Jail. Like, they could have just had, like, your account's been temporarily frozen or something, but they chose to keep doing the jail. Or else maybe just do, like, something like Bottled Fairies, like You're Trapped by Balthazar, or, let's see, there one, or a dungeon or something. Like, jail is just not Neopets themed. I don't think of that when I think of Neopets. Like, they could have done something different thematically, so I'm disappointed that they stuck with that. Just Visiting, and then, okay, sorry, this is hard to hold. Oh my gosh, Mystery Island! Oh my gosh, I have mixed thoughts on Mystery Island because I love Mystery Island in the sense that that's where my classic Neo home is. That's where I have, like, a lot of nostalgia. Like, when I used to, like, role play about my pets when I was, like, 13 with my Neo friends, we would make our stories as taking place in Mystery Island because that's where our pets lived. But I have heard some concerns about, like, some of the ways that Neopets represents Mystery Island. It's, like, kind of, like, not really sensitive to, like, real world cultures and stuff. And there was this person on, like, the Jelly Neo comments who just came up with an entire, like, detailed post about all of their concerns with the island pets and like the new Neocash versions of the nostalgic pet colors for Mystery Island, and like giving their suggestions of like, hey, here's how I would do this differently, or this one's okay and this one's not okay. And it's just like, oh my gosh, if this one single fan can come up with like ways to make Mystery Island better and like more sensitive, then like what is Neopets doing? Like if one single fan can fix the Mystery Island, then like why can't an entire team of Neopet staff fix the cultural issues with Mystery Island? Just like hire this random like commenter on Jelly Neo, please, and then you can like fix Mystery Island. But yeah, I love Mystery Island because that's where my Neo home is, but there are just a lot of concerns about the way Mystery Island is portrayed on the site, and like they probably should change some things because Neopets of 1999 does not have to be the same as Neopets of 2025. Like things that nobody thought too much about 20 some years ago, well, maybe more people are aware about now. And so it's okay to make updates, make changes, to make the site like more inclusive to people, as long as they're doing it in a way that's like respectful to the lore, which I think can be done. But I just, yeah. So yeah, I really think there are some ways that Mystery Island could probably be updated for like modern audiences or the current player base. And then we also have Maltara Obsidian Co. 150 Monopoly money. And it's got a Vandegeyer, a white Vandegeyer. And one thing that irritates me is like how many of the clothes are actually wearable by Vandegeyers, because those were a pet that were added way after customization. And then Lutari Island for 140 Monopoly money. Croc Island for 160 Monopoly money. Croc Island boat for 200 Monopoly money. So we're taking boats as a way to get around. They should have like unis for their travel. Okay, so back in the day, there used to be like this rule for if you were making Neopian Time stories about how you couldn't use technology that exists like I don't know, that uses electricity or something. Like you couldn't use cars unless it was Nigel from the stock market, because that was technically a game within a game. So it's totally fine that Nigel has a car. But if you were making a story taking place in Neopia, you weren't supposed to use like cars as a form of transportation because it didn't work well like lore wise. But you could use Virtua Pets themed stuff. But so people would come up with like their own ideas for like transport around the site. Like there'd be like, oh, you could hire a uni to take you places, or oh, you could hire a Shoiru to fly you places. And I loved like the creativity that people would come up with. So yeah, I really wish that they would have like some of those ideas for the transport. But Croc Island boat, 200 Monopoly money. Tyrania or Tyrannia, I don't know how you're actually supposed to say it. I have probably said it both ways. It's probably, if I had to guess, it's probably, what's the word I'm looking for? It might be based off of, like, the name makes me think it's probably based off of, like, some Roman or, like, Latin area, like, geographical thing. Like, I think there was something in, like, Outlines of Roman History that made me think, oh my gosh, this reminds me of Tyrania. Which makes me think maybe that was based off of that. But, yeah, I don't really know how you're supposed to say Tyrania, if it's Ty or Tyr. Like, I don't know. I've said it both ways. And also you have to remember the original Neopets creators were Welsh, and so that is where we end up with some of, like, the more eccentric like pronunciations based on the spellings, like the way that some of the vowels are said, like if you're like a Welsh speaker, like that's different than how they're said in like I think other parts of the world that speak English. And so that's kind of how we end up with some of the odd pronunciations. And also the fact that most Neopets players, we learned the pronunciations, like we learned how to read the names before we ever heard them said. And so talking, like people just talking in like little pockets of like, oh, their friends groups or whatever, develop different pronunciations for the way that some of these locations and Neopet species are said, which is why you'll have like three different, like there'll be like three different ways that people say like Aisha, Asha, like there'll be like a bajillion different ways that people say like Aisha, or like there are just a bunch of different ways people say these names. Like I think flotsam is supposed to be spelled like pronounced flotsam like the word, but I always called it flotsam. So there is a decent chance that I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of anything that is not like exactly how it's spelled. So yeah, Tyrannia, 180 Monopoly money. Money tree! Oh my gosh, I love the money tree. Like, yeah, you're only gonna get like underwater fishing junk from there, but it's such a nice concept. Terror Mountain, 180 Monopoly money. New Fairyland, 200 Monopoly money. Free parking. And then The Lost Desert, 220 Monopoly money. Wheel of Excitement, Haunted Woods, 220 Monopoly money. Shanku, 240 Monopoly money. The Sire Drake's Gaze, 200 Monopoly money. And I think that actually came out like the same year that I joined the site, but it was slightly before I joined the site. Rue Island, 260 Monopoly money. Miradel, 260 Monopoly money. This is falling. Healing Springs, 150 Monopoly money. Why the frick would they charge for Healing Springs? Like, that is the cheap, like, for people who can't afford it, way of healing your pet on Neopets. That's the one where you just go every 30 minutes and eventually Marina will, like, heal you. So I don't like how they're charging for Marina services. So Healing Springs, 150 Monopoly money. Brightville, 280 Monopoly money. Go to jail. Okay. Yeah. Next of all, this is hard to hold when I'm trying to show it on screen. Creludor is 300 Monopoly money. Moltara is 300 Monopoly money. Then we have Money Tree. Then we have Virtupet Space Station for 320 Monopoly money. Then we have Virtupet Space Shuttle for 200 Monopoly money. Then Wheel of Excitement. Then Altador for 350 Monopoly money. Then King Hagen for, is it Hagen? I don't know, King Hagen for 100 Monopoly money. Oh, you're paying him, so he's luxury tax. And then Fairyland for 400 Monopoly money. I don't like how they have two Fairylands. Like, you have New Fairyland and Old Fairyland, but Fairyland is still shown on the ground. Like, it's still shown as being on the ground, whereas Old Fairyland used to be before Xandra tried to liberate us, because I simp for Xandra. Like, she should be like the rightful like new president of Neopet. Like, I would have voted for her. I love Xandra. But before Xandra tried to liberate us, when Fairyland was still in the sky, it was in the sky. So it was like this floating land that was like so many miles, what was it, like 30,000 feet up above Neopet Central or something, and then it crashed and ended up somewhere by the Haunted Woods. But like, I don't know why they're having New Fairyland and then Fairyland both be off ground, because if they're trying to do like Old Fairyland, that would be floating in the sky. Okay, this is mine. You won virtual prize. It has scan the QR and redeem the code at Grenda's warehouse to receive your prize. And like, there's a QR code with a little thing that you scratch off, but I'm not gonna show that right now, because I'm probably gonna do that at a later date, because I am trying to, like, I am on day 5 without Neopets. I think it was like 6 days ago is when I fed my pets in the Neo Lodge and just logged out. So I am on day 5 of not logging on to Neopets, and I am doing so well. I am doing so well that I'm like, I need to put that aside, because otherwise I will log into the site and redeem my code, and I am trying to be on hiatus. How do I put this? Is it possible to be addicted to a website? Because I feel like I'm addicted. And like, I am just having such a hard time not logging on, because it's like a force of habit. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I want to go and collect my bank interest. I want to collect my bank interest every day. But I am doing such, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Like the way I just realized the way the light is so weird, because I have curtains open, and so the light is not consistent like normal. So like sometimes depending on where I'm at, there's like this weird like bright or like shadowy. But yeah. So anyways, I am trying so hard not to log in and collect my bank interest, because like I just have like the habit of doing that every single day. And also I'm dealing with like FOMO of like, oh my gosh, what if they do a new event and it's time sensitive? Or like, oh my gosh, every day that I'm not doing a quest log, like the quest log, it's like, oh, I'm another day further away from whatever item that I could be getting. I'm falling further behind. And I should do food club. I never did. Like, I never did figure out, like, what was it? A lot of people do food club nowadays to do their Neo points, to get their Neo points. And I have yet to find, like, a guide that I'm like, oh, I like, what's the word? I mean, I know there are lots of guides for it, and like people they're like, oh, this is what we recommend betting on, but it's like, I've yet to choose one. And also, like, I just haven't gotten in the habit of doing it because like it's not part of my like habitual routine. And so like I know I need to do food club. I'm saying this as I'm on hiatus, but I know I need to do food club if I ever join the site again. And do food club every day because that's supposed to be how high-end like older accounts are supposed to be able to make a lot of Neo points. And so since I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm falling behind on the economy, maybe I should be doing food club because I think that's supposed to be like one of the best ways to get Neo points. But yeah, I don't do food club right now. And also it's like I feel like I am trying to be on hiatus, so it's not helpful for me to be thinking about food club right now, even though my brain is thinking about food club right now. Yes, I'm very frustrated with the Neopets Economy though. Like, let's be honest, like, I don't like the way that they're re-releasing certain things where it's like if they're re-releasing an item that used to be like 35 million Neo points or something to every single player, be it like the All-the-Door Cop, if you just click every single day, that causes issues with the economy where items that used to be expensive that people worked very hard for are now like tanked to the point of being worthless. And there's like no economic stability. Like, I like the idea of making some of these items that used to be like freaking impossible to obtain more obtainable. Like, I think that can be a good idea, but the way that they're doing it in some circumstances ends up completely flooding the market to the point where it is just worthless now. Like, it's items that used to be like really sought after and rare are just like, oh, these are like flooding the money tree. Like, there was an issue with some of the what was it, like the items that were re-released during the Void Within that used to be like quite sought after. Like, what was it, like some of the, was it Theor's Tier, and I think one of the no wait, was that released through the prize shop? But there was some like really high-end Battle Dome item that was given out through volunteering at the Neo Hospital that used to be like one of the most sought after Battle Dome items in the game, and then ended up, Leaded Elemental Vial, I think it was, ended up being like worth like less than 100k by the time all was said and done. And to me, it's like the way that they were doing that re-release, it's like you just completely like broke the Battle Dome meta. Because if one of the most highly sought after items in the game is now worth significantly less and everyone can get it, like, the issue is that also like not only like hurts the people who did previously have one, and it's like, yeah, I feel bad for them, but it also causes like runoff effects on the rest of the Battle Dome. Whereas like before, okay, people would probably buy the next most expensive item if they can't get the best item. You end up with a situation where that next item, like, there's no longer any demand for it whatsoever. So even though that item is not like, oh my gosh, there's a huge unlimited supply, it's just less sought after, the demand isn't there anymore, so that also causes those items to kind of like go down in price, and it just has a lot of like runoff effects on the economy when they do these mass re-releases of things that used to be very high-end and rare. And so just there's a lot of economic chaos on Neopets, and so it's like items that used to be like worthwhile investments, it's like, well, do you want to put the Neo points into that right now? What if they re-release this? And it kind of affects my behavior of like, well, do I want to buy an item if I think there's a chance it's going to be re-released at a lower price? Am I going to wait for that? And it just causes a lot of chaos. And so yeah, I don't really like the way that the economy is being handled on Neopets right now. It just feels very unstable. Like I get that, like, how do I put this? There is an issue where a lot of goals on the site were unobtainable, and if you're a new player to the game or just returning after a long hiatus or something, then the site can be really just like discouraging and make you think, well, why am I even going to play this? There's no way of me catching up compared to other players. And so I understand that there is absolutely a need to re-release some of these harder to obtain items. But the way that they're doing it is just, it's not good. It has knockoff effects on the market. It's a very unstable economic situation that makes me like not really know what to make decisions like economic wise. So yeah, I don't really like the way the Neopets economy is being handled under the current management. Yes, next of all, I'm going to show you my cute little, what are these called? Like, I don't want to say coins. What are these called? The things that you move. The little figures. Whoop! That is loud because it's metal on metal. So first of all, we have this little cougar. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Like, I don't really know how to get it to focus on this, but there's a little cougar, who's just really, really cute. And then next of all, there is a uni who is just like on its like back legs. Oh my gosh, there's a Kachik! It's a Kachik. It reminds me of Oscar the insurance salesman. But yeah, there's a little Kachik. And then, oh my gosh, no falling. And Akura, if I can ever get my sister to play this game, this is who she's gonna choose, because like one of her first pets, or was it her first pet? I think that pet might be from the Neopian Hound. But her favorite of her pets was an Akura. And then next of all, we have a Shoiru, which is kind of like a little dragon. There's also there's also a dragon pet that's a Scorchio, but I don't think there's a Scorchio figure. And then lastly, we have, okay, how do I hold this? We have an Aisha with kind of like the droopy ears over the front. Like the ears are hanging down, which like usually the ears stick straight up, but it's like an Aisha with like droopy ears. And honestly, I wanted a Wocky. Sorry, the way the light is like so rubbish in here right now. But yeah, my favorite, okay, so my favorite of my Neopets is my baby Wocky, because like she's my favorite of my pets. But I always thought like if I myself were a Neopet, I would probably be like an Aisha, because I think they're supposed to have really sensitive hearing. And when I was a kid, like I shouldn't say when I was a kid, because this is still an ever-present issue to the present moment in time. But I've always had like very sensitive like ears, in the sense that I am autistic. And so noises that normally are not an issue for other people are physically painful to me and can be debilitating, which is why, okay, give me a second. I'm gonna go show you something. It is in my Neopets bag. Like literally it is in my Neopets bag. So that is why I'm like, I also want to show you this. Okay, so this is from Cakeworthy that I bought off of, like I bought it off of Cakeworthy. Or no, was it one that, okay, was this one a gift for my parents for Christmas? Sorry, from my parents for Christmas at one point. But like, I love this bag because it can hold these. But yeah, sorry, the lighting in here is so weird. I don't know how to fix this. Actually, give me a second and I will. But like I'm gonna go close the curtains real quick while I talk to y'all about how okay, this should have fixed it. It was just this one specific curtain. The way the light was coming in through it, it was like shining on my face over here. But I would always bring these places if there was gonna be like loud noise. Like for instance, some Girl Scout outing many years ago, there was a fire alarm that went off, and like I remember like thinking, like I think one of my family members or someone convinced me like, oh, you don't need to bring those to this Girl Scout event. And then I was like, yes, I did, because there was like a fire alarm that was going off, and I ended up being very, very glad that I brought these, because it's just like so many things that it's like other people just find inconvenient. It's like they are physically painful for me, and so I like to have these in case of like fire alarms or ambulances or fire trucks or movie theaters. I mean, I don't go to movie theaters anymore because of my corn allergy, but like the physical theater, like if I'm going to go see a play or a musical. Like sometimes those will be like super, super, super loud. And so I bring like hunting earmuffs everywhere. And so for me personally, I mean, actually I think the anniversary when I first got my very first pair of hunting earmuffs is coming up, because I first learned about these from my grandpa one time at the 4th of July, because I think he does like hunting and stuff sometimes. Like he had a pair of like these hearing protection things, and like I remember like covering my ears and being like very like pained one 4th of July because of the fireworks, and he brought me his pair of like the hunting earmuffs, and it was just like I don't think he even like really said much of anything. He brought them to me, and it was just like the sweetest, like most thoughtful thing that's like ever like the sweetest, most thoughtful thing ever. Like that's something that I'm always gonna remember for the rest of my life. But he introduced me to like these hunting earmuffs, and it's like that's how I deal with loud noises. But that is the story of why, if I was going to be any Neopet ever, it would be an Aisha, because they have very sensitive ears, and I do too. Okay, now that the white isn't so bright, I'm going to show you these individually again. We have the Akura. We have the Kachik. We have the Aisha, which probably is going to be what I'll be. The Shoiru. The Kugra. And the Uni. And I would say usually like if I don't know, like anymore, if I ever represent, like do something where it's like I want a representation of the fact that I play Neopets, like I tend to use like the yellow Wocky, because my pet is a baby Wocky, which looks very yellow, and like I have this little I think this one might have been one of the ones that they used to give out in Happy Meals. I think my parents got it for me off of eBay one year for Christmas. But this is my, like, this is how I represent the fact that I'm obsessed with the website, because it's like the closest approximation I have of what my pet looks like. So like my main pet is my baby Wocky. So yeah, so I'm kind of disappointed that there's not a Wocky, just because like I love Wockies. They're like my, like I don't know, like my favorite pet is a Wocky. Like that's my main pet. That's the one that's like she's my Battledome pet. She's the one that I always have active. She's the one that I played or used to play NeoQuest with. So yeah. Okay, let me show you what all else is in here. Okay. We have these things. I'm gonna go ahead and open these up, show you what all we got. So these are like the little houses and Neolodges, whatever they are. Like here's the little red Neo, I think this is supposed to be the Neolodge or the hotel. And then we got like the little Neo home. And honestly, I'm disappointed that they didn't do like on the class of Neo homes, you could have like your different types of like room materials, like transparent shield or tatami or cardboard, which is what a lot of people did, because I think that was one of the cheapest, or straw or brick, or yeah, they had chocolate and white chocolate. And I feel like my first, what was it my first Neo home room that I ever built ever, I think was chocolate. It was like a chocolate bedroom on, I think this was on my old account. Yeah, it was like a chocolate room that I made a bedroom for my pets. And then I also had a jelly, like literally a jelly bathroom, which is the stupidest idea ever. Like if you, like if a, okay, actually no, cardboard might be, but like, I'm just thinking, in real life, a bathroom made of jelly sounds like a total disaster. But you could have like jelly Neo home rooms, or cardboard, or asparagus. Like they had all these ridiculous Neo home building materials. And I kind of wish that they'd had like a representation of that. And you could also have your little gardens, which I just loved. Where am I gonna put these? These are like falling. And then there are these two dice, and I'm like, I'm disappointed that they went with the normal dice, because they could have done like something Dice-a-Roo themed. Like, because there's an entire dice themed game on the site called Dice-a-Roo, and there's also like, okay, I got a 7. But there is also just like, what's it called? Deadly dice, where you can gamble your pets' levels. I miss, oh my gosh, I miss how Neopets used to be. Like, I just remember like the joy of experiencing the site for the first time, and how when I was a kid, it's like if you wanted to do Deadly Dice, you basically had to wait till Halloween because it was only available at like midnight Neopian time, which was 2 a.m. my time zone. And so when I first started the site, Deadly Dice was like this cool, mysterious thing that like most people, like, I don't know, couldn't do unless they were in the right time zone, because like I was like, I had a bedtime back in those days. So like to me, Deadly Dice used to be like cool and mysterious and stuff. But yeah, I wish they would have done something more Neopets themed for the dice. And then next of all, oh my gosh, I guess I'll open these up. Okay. How do I open this? It's got like a little gold thingy. I don't know. I'm just gonna go in with scissors, because this is what I know how to do. Okay. So I think these are for, okay, or these are different things. Okay. Oh, some of these are locations. Okay, so these cards here, okay, those ones are that, but we have like great, okay, here it is. Okay, so these are locations, like the Giant Walleen, we have one side, we have Croc Island Boat, one side, we have the Side Rook's Gaze, we've got Virtue Pet Space Shuttle. And then it also has like the mortgage of like how, like one side it shows like the mortgage side, and the other side it shows you like how much you'd be collecting in rent. We've got Moltara Obsidian Co. We've got Healing Springs, which to me, I don't understand why you'd pay money for Healing Springs. Like to me, the fact that they chose to have Healing Springs as one of the utilities is like a complete and total, like it does not work with canon. It feels like a betrayal to the lore of the site. And then we've got like Neopia Central, we've got Decardia, or however you say that. Like, I don't play Decardia, so I don't even really know much about that. We've got Kiko Lake, who if you ever get your items stolen, you'll be mad at. We've got Maraqua. Oh my gosh, that's like, Maraqua. I wish that I'd been around for like the Maraqua plot. And then we've got like Daragon Citadel. Plots these days just ain't what they used to be. We've got Mystery Island. Oh my gosh, Mystery Island is where my Neo home is on the site itself. We've got Lutari Island, which is basically inaccessible because it used to, like, they made it for some tie-in for some like mobile carrier, and then I don't know what they ever, like, I don't know, like, what they ever did with it really, because like it's that thingamabob, I think, like, it's no longer a thing, and so no one can access Lutari Island anymore, and so it's just like this misty spot on the map that you can't do anything on. Then there's Croc Island. I remember I was around for the Croc Island like little event with the governor dude, the Croc, and how like the island was falling apart. And then we've got Tyrania or Tyrannia, however you're supposed to say that, I can never remember, which is where you can get your free omelet every day, which if it's okay, one thing to know is if it looks like a cheese omelet, always double check, because otherwise you can like feed it to your pet and they'll get like pneumonia or something, and then you have to go spend a bunch of money on medicinal soap, or go to Marina. So yeah, be careful and don't accidentally feed your Grundo the wrong type of omelet, or your Grundo will get sick. Wait, no, did I give my Grundo poison jelly? Was it poison jelly that gives you pneumonia? Either way, I poisoned one of my pets, or like many years ago. I poisoned my pet Grundo, and I remember that I needed like medicinal soap for it, and it was like 20,000 Neo points, which was a lot back in those days. or to a newer player who doesn't know how you're supposed to like just take your pet to Healing Springs. So long story short, do not feed your pet rotten omelets or poisonous lollipops or poisonous jelly. And then we've also got Terra Mountain, which is where my Neohome V2 is. We've got New Fairyland. We've got the Lost Desert. We've got Haunted Woods. We have got Shanku. We have got Rue Island. The next of all is Muradel. Brightville. Coreludor. Multara. Virgipet Space Station. Altador, which is where the Altador Cup takes, tongue twister here, where the Altador Cup takes place. And also, there used to be a plot that you could do with it, but I don't know how much of that is still functional because of Flash. Like, Altador actually had like a plot that was supposed to be available forever and not be a time-sensitive plot, but I think that some elements of it were actually Flash-based, and so it may be completely incompletable now. But I have done my Altador plot, so I do have access to the King Altador daily. Yeah, Altador. And then Fairyland. Okay, where did I put these things? The wheel thingamabobs. Okay, I'll read you oh, these are two different ones. Wheel and Money Tree. So this is like the wheel. Wheel of Excitement. Dr. Landelbrot's latest teleportation experiment goes haywire and randomly ports you across Neopia. Advance to the nearest Neopian transport. If unowned, you may buy it from the bank. If owned, pay owner twice the rental to which they are otherwise entitled. And so that had to do with the coincidence, I think. And then this one has an image of Neopoints. Wheel of Excitement. You get turned around in the fairy caves and on up somewhere unexpected. Advance to the nearest Neopian transport. If unowned, you may buy it from the bank. If owned, pay owner twice the rental to which they are otherwise entitled. Some members of the Pocket Change Redistribution Committee approach you and appropriate the Neopoints that you have in your pockets. Pay 15 Monopoly money. Oh my gosh, this is the bully random event I was talking about that they used to have in Myrtle. Like, it was the bullies from the Myrtle plot, specifically. The one with Alicia and Boris. But were there two of those plots? I wasn't around for either, but it was the characters that were in that plot, I think. Yeah. Oh, the Pocket Change Redistribution Committee. Oh my gosh, I love it. Pocket Change Redistribution Committee. Like, that is just such, like, that is exactly the sort of way, like, the government would name some, like, shady office of, like, I don't know, it's, like, something out of, like, 1984, or, like, how, like, I don't know, like, it's hilarious, like, I love the wording there. Pocket Change Redistribution Committee instead of the schoolyard bullies, like, that's funny. Oh my gosh, that's Hubert! That's Ghosty Hubert Knox. The ghost of Hubert Knox appears out of nowhere and cackles. Run away! Go back 3 spaces. Oh my gosh, this has two, I think those are from the food club. They're from somewhere in Croc Island. It's a Bruce and a Kiri. You took several bad food club risks that didn't quite go your way. Pay each player 50 Monopoly money. Oh, that's Jake the Cougar. He's involved in some Mystery Island game. Team up with Jake to explore the deserted tomb. Advance to Mystery Island. If you pass go, collect 200 Monopoly money. Oh, and there is some character with purple eyes and a burlap cape. Jacko the Phantom Painter appears and gives you an invisible paintbrush before fading away. With this, you could evade detection. Get out of jail free. This card may be kept until needed or traded. Oh, Jacko the Phantom Painter. He used to be, I don't know if he still does, but he used to give away like random paintbrushes and random events. Oh, and on the left side, there is a Mystery Island storm with a red Wocky covering its face and a purple cow on a roof and some like moving palm trees. Strong winds have caused substantial damage to your property, which will require repairs. For each Neohome you own, pay 25 Monopoly money, and for each Neolodge, pay 500 Monopoly money. And then, next of all, oh, we have the bank scheme! Your bank interest is ready to be collected. Collect 50 Monopoly money. And then we have, oh, this is an air fairy, which will give you quests for grooming items. And if you give him like the red lipstick or whatever, it'll give you points for your pet's agility, which is a mostly useless stat, but I still train it anyway. Whoa! The air fairy appears and increases your speed. Advance to go. Collect 200 Monopoly money. Oh, and this, I think that's the loop from the Tyrannian Council. Who, is he the one who does the omelet, I think? You are caught trying to take a second slice from the giant omelet. Only one slice per day. Saber X escorts you to jail. Go to jail. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200 Monopoly money. Yeah, you can only take one omelet per day. Woo, Bank Skeethy again. Advance to the nearest Neopian resource. If unowned, you may buy it from the bank. If owned, throw dice and pay owner a total 10 times amount thrown. Oh, this is the Emperor of Shenku. He's a red galert who wears, I think, a yellow outfit. The Emperor of Shenku invites you to a festival he is throwing for his daughters. Advance to Shenku. If you pass go, collect 200 Monopoly money. And I think he has two daughters. One of them is like, I think the Shenku Warrior game. And the other is like, it's a Sai Bunny. I can't remember her name. The other one's Sai Bunny. And then, the Golden Patiri! Oh my gosh, the Golden Patiri! So the Golden Patiri will only give you Neo points if you have a Patiri, or at least that's how it used to be. And if you don't have a Patiri, it'll just fly overhead and won't give you any Neo points. The Golden Patiri flies overhead and suddenly Neo points rain down on you. Collect 150 Monopoly money. He must really like you. Oh, and then this is a light fairy who I think give levels if you give them magic items. Luxinia has sent you... Luxinia is related to one of their mobile games that they're constantly shilling for. Luxinia has sent for you. Advance to Giant Wallene. If you pass go, collect 200 Monopoly money. And then, oh, Fiora, who, in my opinion, Fiora is a tyrant. We should overthrow her and replace her with a speckled Exweetok. Yes, you can tell. I do not like the fairies. I absolutely was Team Xandra. So, you've been summoned by Fiora. Advance to Fairyland. Yes, I was way too like involved with the Fairies Ruin plot. I got so like I just got so like, oh my gosh, Xandra needs to win. And then it's like originally I hated Xandra, but then when it turned out that she was just trying to overthrow the fairies, I was like, yes, queen, be our new queen. So I mean, technically, I think that she'd probably want I don't know, some sort of representational government, because if it's by Neopets for Neopets, she wouldn't just want to make herself the lifelong queen. She'd want to be like voted in or something. So like, I don't know, maybe she'd have like a democracy or a republic or a tribal council or something. So maybe Xandra wouldn't be queen, she'd be more like president or something. But yeah, anyways, make Xandra a new queen, please. I like Xandra, not Fiora. I don't like Fiora. It's like, I don't like how the fairies, like, they're not even Neopets. Yeah, they make they seem to like make the rules and like be in charge of like the government, within the site itself. It's like, I don't really know how the Neopets team like counts or does not count for like lore wise on the plots and stuff. Like if we think about like the Void Within, where like you have the entire like the representatives from the rulers of each land of Neopia coming to meet and talk and like Altador or something. Do the Neopets team have a representative there? No. So, like, do we count them? Like, do we count them? But at the same time, like, there's a random event where LawyerBot will show up sometimes. So it's like, I don't really know to what extent, like, Neopets team constitute as being, like, involved in the world. So, I don't know. That's a question that I've kind of always wondered. And then next of all, we have, oh my gosh, we have the money tree. We have the money tree with a rainbow. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so first of all, we have Lord Daragon. Lucky for you, Lord Daragon is feeling particularly magnanimous after you pay him a visit at Daragon Citadel. Get out of jail free. This card may be kept until needed or traded. I was not around for either of the Myrtle plots, so... Oh, and then here is King Scarblade, who is from one of the Croc Island ones, or the Morocco ones, or something. Money tree, what are ye looking at? A pirate demands your Neopets, or you'll walk the plank. Pay 50 Monopoly money. Oh, I don't know what this is. It seems to be of a purse. Yeah, it looks like a coin purse. Money tree, your consecutive trips to Trudy Slot Machine have paid off. Wait, what? Okay, your consecutive trips to Trudy Slot My brain defaults to calling it slot machine. It is not called slot machine. It's called Trudy's Surprise, but I always think Trudy Slot Machine. It's a slot machine. Money tree. Your consecutive trips to Trudy's Surprise slot machine have paid off. Receive Monopoly money 100. That is a tongue twister that my brain was trying to autofill. But yeah, it's like a coin purse. Like, it's just an image of a coin purse. Yeah. I miss when gambling actually used to have risks. Like, I don't like the Trudy's Surprise because, like, every time you play, you don't, like, there's no chance of anything negative happening. So, like, it's just, it's not really gambling. It's just not exciting. Like, I miss, like, I don't know. Like, what was it, the Save the Wheels event? Actually, that wasn't a very fun event. But, like, I like how sometimes with some of the other gambling games on the site, there's actually a chance to lose or have something bad happen. Like, okay, I don't know why anyone would spin the Wheel of Misfortune other than for the stupid daily quest log thing or the rubbish daily quest log thing. But like, okay, deadly dice, there's a chance of losing levels. So I don't really, like, I don't really find Trudy's Surprise to be a fun thing. It's just free Neo points for showing up. It ain't real gambling. Oh, the one in the Lost Desert, the fruit machine, is actually more fun. Actually, I don't like how it's a wheel. Like it feels like it goes up and down nowadays, whereas before I always kind of had the idea that they were drawing cards to figure out what they were gonna get, but instead it's kind of like it feels like an actual slot machine. But yeah, this is the fruit machine, and we got the Desert Aisha, cow, and loop. 3 imagines at the fruit machine. Big win! Receive 100 Monopoly money. Oh, Sydney. You spend 50 Monopoly money on a deserted fairground scratch card, but it isn't a winner. So much for that. Pay 50 Monopoly money. Oh my gosh, Angry King Scarl. King Scarl counted your taxes incorrectly. Here's your refund. Collect 20 Monopoly money. Does he have jurisdiction over me since I live in Mystery Island? Oh, and this appears to be a Myrtle Knight who's like a yellow skeith holding a sword. King Scarl appears and orders his guards to collect 100 Monopoly money from you. Who knew there was such a thing as marrow tax? Pay 100 Monopoly money. I know what a marrow tax is because I think I've gotten that random event before. I don't even know what marrow tax is, but I know that there is such a thing as a marrow tax because I think I had some terrible random event where Scarl took money from me one time. This is blasphemy. No. There is no such thing as Jelly World. There is no such thing as Jolly World. Next, y'all are gonna tell me there's such a thing as Punch Club. So there is a pink jelly Poogle, as well as like some jelly green trees in the background. You are overheard talking about a place that doesn't exist. Jolly World? Go to jail. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200 Monopoly money. So there is a running gag on Neopets that Jolly World does not exist. So, I mean, no, Jolly World does not exist. It's not real. It is not real. It is totally make-believe. It was, like, made up by Dr. Sloth to, like, fool people and to, like, being delusional and stuff. Like, Jolly World does not exist. And then we've got the Snowager on a pile of treasure. Money Tree, you have stumbled upon the great ice treasure. This discovery will surely make you famous. Collect 25 Monopoly money. Oh, and then we have an image of this is Team Kiko Lake. This is Team Kiko Lake. And then there's a Uni, 3 Kikos, and a Piofin. You're helping the Kiko Lake team collect donations so they can go to the Altador Cup this year. Collect 10 Monopoly money from every player. Oh, that is so cruel. I love it. Making us active participants in Team Kiko Lake's donation scheme. Oh, that is diabolical. I love it. Chef's kiss. Oh, this is Illusion. So it's Illusion sitting on the ground, kind of like, it looks like she's like talking or something because like the way her hands are makes it seem like she's gesturing. Illusion emerges from the woods and approaches you. I had some spare Neopoints lying around, so I thought you may like to have them. Collect 100 Monopoly money. Yeah, how do you think she gets the spare Neopoints? From doing those quests, probably, and asking for rarity 99 items. Okay, this is a golden patiri. The golden patiri flies overhead, and suddenly Neopoints rain down on you. Collect 50 Monopoly money. Oh, and then here we have a royal girl Poogle holding a mirror. You have won second place in the beauty contest. Collect 10 Monopoly money. Oh, I like how the mirror kind of has like a Poogle itself on the back. And the royal girl Poogle is pink, though I am confused about the lack of eyelashes. I felt, doesn't the Poogle have more eyelashes? I'm not sure. Okay, so a running thing on Neopets is the only difference between pet genders is eyelashes, basically. Because it's like the exact same model, except on customization, like once they added customization, for some reason they just decided to give female pets eyelashes. So I do not know why they did that, but since like customizations existed, female pets have eyelashes, so that's just been a thing. And then here it's some sort of rad bug pet. I can't remember. Pet. Specifically pet. I can't remember which one it is. An itchy infestation. ITCHI. Okay. An itchy infestation has ravaged Neopia and damaged all of your properties. For each Neohome you own, pay 40 Monopoly money. And for each Neolodge, pay 115 Monopoly money. Shop Wizard! The Shop Wizard wiggles his magical toes and suddenly you can move 5 times faster. Advance to go. Collect 200 Monopoly money. And then, oh, the National Neopian Bank. Bank error in your favor. Collect 200 Monopoly money. And that is all the cards. I think next of all, I guess I'll read the rules. Oh my gosh, this is going to be long. I don't want to read the whole setup thing. I'm just going to show you this is the back, or like one side, and then here's the other side. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, where is the part that tells me what is the same? The object of the game and the rules. Property cards. All the values are the same as the corresponding properties in Classic Monopoly. The 4 corner squares remain unchanged, as does the road to victory. Whoever is left when all the other players have gone bankrupt wins the game. What is different? The game board. The action on the board is the same, but you are buying Neopian lands. Travel spaces are now Neopian transports. Chance cards have been renamed Wheel of Excitement, and community chess cards are now Money Tree. Houses and hotels have been renamed Neohomes and Neolodges. Utilities have become Neopian resources. Tax spaces are now called King Scarl and King Hagen. This game includes 6 custom tokens: Akara, Aisha, Kachik, Kugra, Shoroyuru, and Uni. And then it has like contents of game board, 6 custom tokens, 28 title deed cards, 16 Wheel of Excitement cards, 16 Money Tree cards, 1 pack of Monopoly money, 32 Neohomes, 12 Neolodges, and 2 dice. So yeah, there's like the entire thing of like rules and stuff, but my voice is very tired. I don't want to do that right now. Actually, I mean, if y'all are actually playing it, like, and have your own copy of the game, y'all will read the rules for yourself. Okay, maybe y'all won't, because, like, I have talked to people before, and I've been like, what do you mean you don't read the rules of things? Or I'll be like, just a moment, I can't start the game yet. I need to read the updated terms and conditions. And they'll be like, what? You actually read these? So I might be the only person who actually like reads TOS on things. So maybe y'all won't actually read the rules before you play, but I probably will. And actually, if I force my family to play this, if my family volunteers to play this because they miss Neopets so much and were nostalgic for it when they played like 15 years ago, we'll probably actually read the rules together. Or, yeah, I'm trying to force my family to play this game with me because, like, they don't like Monopoly. I'm gonna be real, they don't like Monopoly. I'm the only one who likes Monopoly. But all of my family used to play Neopets at one point in time. I would say, like, excluding me because I still play, except for the fact that I am currently on hiatus. I am on day 5 of hiatus. I am holding strong. Like, I am addicted to that site, and like it is a nightmare trying to like not play it because, like, let's be real, like I am addicted to Neopets. But yeah, I really feel like the site isn't the same site it used to be when I was a kid, and there's a lot of stagnation going on, and I don't really have a lot of hope that things are going to get better, and I'm really upset about the moderation and how I see it as being like really transphobic. And like, I can overlook a lot of things, but like, Neopets is supposed to be like an escape from the problems of the real world, and if I have to deal with like, how do I put this? If I have to deal with like security vulnerabilities and half the features not working, at the very least, I want the site to be like nice to trans people. And if they can't meet that bare bone basics minimum requirement, like, I feel like I'm at the point where I've kind of like given up on the site. So yeah, I'm on hiatus. I'm doing my very best to boycott it. At some point, I probably am also gonna get the Neopets Kickstarter game because I also pre-ordered that, and wasn't that supposed to ship in June? Neopets has trouble keeping up with like stuff sometimes, because I think this was supposed to ship in June too. Like, this game, I pre-ordered this in March, but there are people who still like have not gotten their shipping notification, and it's like June 30th or something when I'm recording this. And yeah, I don't know. It's like, I love the site, and I wanted it to succeed, and I want it to get better. I don't have much hope that it's gonna get better. And like, yeah, I don't know. I don't like the way they're handling the shipping for this because it feels like some people are getting it earlier than others, and it just feels really unfair. So yeah. And also, I dislike too how didn't they give this to like some influencers first? Like, I mean, I get that I do YouTube, but I paid for my copy, and so it's really unfair to me as a longtime Neopets fanatic who's been playing the site since like 2006, 2007. Like, it just feels really unfair to me that like other people who aren't even necessarily like as big of fanatics of the site as me are getting like the board game earlier than me when I paid real life money for my copy. So yeah. don't know. I'm just, I don't know, like, I grew up with the site. I feel like it's been my long-term, like, what's the word? My long-term, like, obsession. And yeah, I hate seeing what it's become over time. Like, it feels like in the past I used to have hope that the site was getting better, but now it feels like it's being kept alive by people who are just have put a lot of time and energy into the site and don't want to see it go away, rather than by people who genuinely think that the site is actively getting better by the day. And it makes me sad because it's never gonna be the Neopets of my childhood again. But yeah, that is my long talk about Neopets Monopoly and my kind of just like unboxing it, going through it. Once again, this is what the case looks like. I'll show it to you again. Like, it actually has these little slots in here, which is really nice. Oh, and this little thing, organizer thing, can be taken out, so you can almost, like, if you decide for whatever reason you hate the board game and want to throw it out, you could keep the tin and just use it to hold other stuff, like maybe your Neopets merch. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching me open up my Neopets Monopoly and give my long commentary on it. And I need to close up this bag. But I guess I'd say wherever you're at in life, I hope you're doing well. I hope that y'all had a happy Pride Month. And yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say remember to feed your Neopets because I'm not currently playing the site, but just I hope that you, I guess I'd say, pursue your own happiness and stay true to yourself. And it hurts to know that sometimes things ain't always going to be the way that they used to be. Sometimes things change for the better or for the worse, and people grow in different directions from each other, and something that you used to love may not be something that you always love forever, and that's just how life goes sometimes, even though it's hard. Thanks for watching this video. Bye. Sincerely, Morgan.